So say more about safety. And I know you had your little brother, right?
Yeah, I have a little brother and a
You're
little
the
sister.
big, and and the sister. I need to know her.
Yeah, I'm the oldest.
Because I definitely hear about your brother.
But no, you
Yeah,
hear
so
about
what was that?
so you normally hear about my best friend who is like a brother. We just became, we're both our families are very close. His
Okay.
mother is part of the reason I went to college. My father was the reason that he went to the service. Like we just had, our families were pretty close. So, but I actually have a little brother and a little sister, 6 and 8 years younger than me.
I
So,
see. I
so
see.
yeah. So when you talk about them, it was tough, if I'm being honest. And the reason why it was tough is because I had to raise them early on. This is, my parents were still in their addiction. And so just in that piece and raising them, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not the most, there might be a little bit of shame in it now that I'm an adult and I'm about to hear what I'm about to tell you, but I like, I did not like that role. I didn't like having to, if I went and got some money for myself,
Okay.
like if we had the type of family, like if I had some candy and I came home and I didn't have enough for them, like my dad would make me give it to him, or I need to like take my brother with me here, take my sister with me there.
That's right.
And
That's really
I hated it. I hated it. I didn't want to be a big brother. I did not want to and it's part of the reason why I don't have kids now. I'm just being really honest with you, is because I was changing diapers and having to be responsible at such a young age. Like while my parents were like fighting, or one would be in jail. Like both my parents were like in and out of jail a lot. And so I'd always kind of had to grow up a little bit quicker. So an example was when we lived in the San Francisco shelter, I still went to Lafayette, which is in West Oakland.
That's right.
And the school,
Commuted, like on the
yeah,
bus or
the school was
BART or
BART tickets, bus and BART tickets, right? And I don't know if they still do that before, but it was really cool when that happened, right? But basically, the morning would be, I would get my brother and sister up because my mother had already gone to rehab at this point, which was really good for her to do. And I can only imagine how tough it was for her to leave her family and go and do this thing. And but she wanted to get clean. So I would get up and I would get my sister dressed and my brother dressed. And then in the shelter, they had daycare because they wanted people to go out and get a job. So I would make sure she was dressed and ready to go there. So she would go there. And this is when Lafayette was still K-6, because I was in the 6th grade and my brother was in kindergarten. So we had these cups that I stole. I stole these cups, and there was a Carl's Jr. We would walk into the Civic Center BART, and I would take the cup and I would fill up both cups with soda, and we would get on BART and bus and then go to school, and we'd have breakfast at school. And then my dad would pick my brother up after school. And then I would go to the boys club and I would stay there until the boys club closed. So until about 8 or 9 or whatever time it was. And Sam Cobb, who is still on the scene, but Sam Cobb was the person that was, I don't know if he was the athletic director. I know he was the coach, but he paid for I still had a really thick accent. He paid for me, my membership. It was like $5 at the time.
Yeah.
And put me on the basketball team. And sometimes he would take me home with him. Me, this other kid, Tito, and this other kid, Prince. All of us could play ball really good. And that was what it would be. And I would go back home. I would get back on BART around 8 or 9 at night and go back to the shelter. But I tried to stay out of it as long as I could. Like I would stay outside, and then when I had to go, and then we would do it over again. So that's what that was like.
And so I mean, you could say that, the safe places for you, maybe there was school, definitely Boys and Girls Club, right? Like
it was a basketball court. Yeah. But I've always felt safe on a basketball court. That's always been like my refuge. And so I loved doing that. That was something that I really, really enjoyed doing. And so, if I could play ball, nothing else mattered. Nothing else was tough. Nothing else was hard for me. And so that's what I like to spend my time doing.